YouTube, what's up with y'all, man? Back with another video. Shout out to the team, RMS Carriers. A lot of y'all been on this last video that we had asking me about what the name of my company. As you see, it's RMS Carriers LLC. The website is www.rmscarriers.com. You can go on there and apply for an OTR position. As some of you may know, we run with Landstar. So running with Landstar, we don't run under our own authority. So just want to be clear about that. We don't run under our own authority. We contract with Landstar. We run under Landstar's authority. So you have to meet Landstar's requirements in order for us to work together. So guys, this video is going to be about, as you see in the title, driver pay, man. Again, I did this last video, and a lot of people were in the comments just talking about pay, driver pay. And guys, there's so many variables when it comes to driver pay. Breakdown of what you're doing, how long you're out, how long you're driving. There's so many variables when it comes to driver pay. And sometimes it's not necessarily a wrong thing or a right thing, but it's just more so what's better for you as a driver. But on the flip side, there is another side of this. Obviously, I'm a business owner. Been a business owner for quite some time. And there's a side that most drivers don't see. And quite honestly, I probably say 50% of y'all don't care about it. But me coming from being a driver, to being a owner operator, obviously that's the first step of running a trucking business. You become a primary owner operator. Then I transferred over to being a fleet owner, bought more trucks, et cetera, et cetera. So you get to see the business side of this and how the numbers play a role in a lot of different factors. First things first, guys, we got to remember that in a business, don't matter if it's trucking, doesn't matter if it's, retail, doesn't matter what the subject is or what the business is. When we're talking business, the goal is to be profitable. You know what I'm saying? The goal is to be profitable. And in order for a business to be profitable, they have to manage their finances. They have to manage their overhead. A part of their overhead is driver pay. Some people might not agree that that's an overhead, but that is actually an overhead, because once the money comes in to the account, it has to go back out. Anything that goes back out of your account that you have to pay for, whether it's equipment, maintenance, or a driver, that's overhead. So guys, some of y'all drive OTR, some of y'all drive local. Everybody on here has a different story, and I'm not on here looking for you guys to agree with me. Everybody has their preferences, and that's completely okay. Again, it's not about being right or wrong. But guys, we have to understand that, I think some of you guys need to be a little bit more logical. Don't get me wrong, there can be some money in trucking. But at the same time, guys, I've seen guys in the comments where, they want to make between $1,600 and $2,000 a week take home, with, in my opinion, take home after taxes. They want to make take home after taxes being home every day or being home on the weekend. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that there's not a company out there that does it, but majority of them don't. You know what I'm saying? At least if we're talking about in the drive-in world. If we're talking about in the drive-in world, there's not a lot of them, unless you're doing something like LTL that gets to determine their own prices. They have their own customers. They have their own freight. I worked at Old Dominion for a certain amount of time. That was my last corporate job before I started doing my own thing, guys. And, I made $80,000 there. I mean, whatever, I'm not a math whiz, but you do 80,000 divided by 52 weeks. I mean, gross wise, that's what I made, which, for me at the time was pretty decent, but guys, again, it's the answer, or what somebody needs to make or what somebody needs to pay, is going to differ from person to person. Again, just based on my opinion. This is just my opinion. So don't get mad at me. This is just my opinion. We can have a conversation in the comments, a nice little dialogue, about what you think about it, but it's just my opinion. But again, if you're OTR, it needs to be between 70 and up, 70 and 100, somewhere around there. But OTR is, 2 to 3 weeks for me. Now there's some companies out here, some of you guys that started at, companies probably like CR England or CRST, they keeping y'all out 8 weeks and this, that, and the third. Man, you guys, I know this channel is pretty young, but guys, you'll learn about me that I am very big on family time. I'm very big on you having time for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't look at you as I don't look at my drivers as just machines. I don't look at them as just robots. You know what I'm saying? People get burned out, people get tired, people got lives, people got things to do, people got families. You know, so all that stuff is important to me. So I say 2 to 3 weeks, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, with OTR, it's gonna be 70 and up, which all my OTRs this year, you know, I'm sure most of them, if they've been here the whole year, they made over 100,000, you know, pretty easy. I can count some out that made 100,000, you know. So, but you know, again, everybody's situation is different. I really do think it's wrong. I really do think it's wrong for some drivers to try and count other people's pockets. You know, don't get me wrong that there are some owner operators or some smaller fleets out here that take advantage of drivers. I'm not unaware of that. I fully understand that, and I know it's some shitty people out here. You know what I'm saying? But again, from a owner standpoint, from a business owner standpoint, guys, outside of being profitable, you know, this is just addressing you guys wanting to count everybody's pockets half of the time. You know, this is not a charity business for me as a business owner. You know, I'm not out here trying to live some super duper lavish lifestyle, but that's me. But I don't judge the next man because he got as many trucks as I do, or less or more, and he takes his money and does whatever he wants to do with it. But guys, you know, again, you gotta be rational with what you want to make when you're out here in trucking. You know, I tell my guys, I mean, again, most of my guys are OTR. I do have a gentleman that wants to be home every weekend, and I'm to an extent I'm fine with that. But I always explain to people, the OTR money is not like the be at home every weekend money. It's not like the be at home every day money. You know what I'm saying? You know, also, I mean, in the meantime, it's kind of no secret, depending on who you're working for, what you're doing, whether you're an owner operator, whether you're a fleet owner, whether you drive for a mega carrier. Guys, right now, today, November 19th, I think that's today's date, November 19th, 2022. The market is pretty much upside down. And you know, not that it's your fault. It's not your fault as a driver. It's not anybody's fault. However, you guys got to be realistic in a situation like this. If the company is not able to make the money to pay you what they've been paying you, and they book their freight, or you guys get freight from the spot market, or even if you get freight from, you know, customers that the company has, guys, again, there's so much red tape in this thing that you guys, again, as drivers, got to understand that there's a lot of logistic stuff that goes on behind the scenes that most drivers don't ever see. And you guys do have the right to complain about a salary to a certain extent, but I think if you can kind of put yourself in the shoes of the business owner, and just kind of if you could kind of be a fly on the wall when some of these conversations come up, when rates change, when fuel is up to $5 a gallon. You know, so there's so many variables in how much somebody can afford to pay you. Now, if somebody's paying you $1,200, $1,300 a week, you know what I'm saying, and you home on the weekends or whatever, and you ain't really doing much, or whatever the situation may be, if that's good for you, that's for you. But it might not be good for somebody like me. It might not be good for the man next door, or the man next to you riding on the interstate. It might not be good for him. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. So there's no such thing as a wrong thing. You know, so that's just something you guys got to keep in mind. Also, like I said, it depends on what you guys are doing. If you're pulling drive-in, I mean, this is trucking. You know, guys, you got to understand that trucking is up and down, no matter what you're pulling. But again, if you're pulling drive-in, you know, drive-in's good at one point, drive-in's bad at one point. If you're pulling flatbed's normally pretty good, but it can be shitty at one point. If you're pulling a tanker, it's normally pretty good, but as far as I know, there's some tanker companies not even hiring right now based on what's going on in the economy. You know, guys, I want to push you guys to try to do a little bit more research on like what's going on with the Federal Reserve and the interest rates going up and how that affects trucking and how that affects companies and why so many bigger companies are going out of business. You know what I'm saying? You guys really got to know, the facts before you kind of have your opinion. You know what I'm saying? And if you choose not to do that, again, that's fine. You know, ain't no skin off my back. But guys, I just want you guys to be educated about what you're talking about and just understand that it's hardly ever perfect in trucking. You know, because it's sometimes you can have great pay, whatever you consider great pay, and you can have the trashiest equipment. And some people are cool with that. You know, but there are situations where there's great pay, there's great equipment, there's great this, there's great that, but it comes at a high cost. And again, in a certain economy or a certain market, your company is able to charge the customer a high premium. But when it's not like that anymore and it's not in their favor and they can't charge that high premium because the economy has slowed down, that has a trickle-down effect. That trickles down from the top all the way down to the mechanics, if you had a mega carrier, all the way down to the drivers. You know, I don't know if you guys been keeping up with the news, but like FedEx just laid off a bunch of people. One of the biggest 3PL companies, C.H. Robinson, has laid off a bunch of people. These are billion-dollar companies, million-dollar companies, laying off people around Christmas time, and this is supposed to be peak season. You know what I'm saying? So that should tell you guys something. So again, I urge you guys not to necessarily be so selfish. Again, I know I'm not trying to get anybody out here to work for free or feel like you need to be slaving, you know, making $900 a week. Guys, you just got to be logical in your request. You know what I'm saying? Some of you guys got these high demands for pay, but you have these restrictions on what you want to do or what you can do. You know what I'm saying? And those two don't go together. You know, you got some people that they want $2,000 a week take home, but they don't want to get dirty. They don't want to make any sacrifices. They just want everything their way. And guys, you guys got to remember that everything doesn't go your way. And just because it's not going your way doesn't mean that it's going the company's way either. You know, shit just happens and shit doesn't always work out. But guys, I say this, you know what I'm saying? And I urge everybody, you know what I'm saying? If you go to my website, I have an apprenticeship program. It pretty much helps people get into their own truck. No, we're not financing any trucks for you. It's not a lease purchase program. It's not anything of that nature, but it's basically to show you guys the game, teach you guys the game on how to get into your own truck. Pretty much you contract with me. You come work for RMS carriers. You drive our equipment. While you're doing that, you're making money, we're making money. And depending on your situation, you know, you could be into your own equipment within a certain amount of time. But, you know, I've said that to say this, guys, for you guys with these super duper high requirements, you know, or these super duper illogical numbers when it comes to driver pay, I think it's probably better for you to really work towards getting your own equipment. You know, because when you get your own equipment, you can kind of, you know, you can do your own thing. You can go make as much money as you want to make. You know what I'm saying? But when you're on somebody else's dime, you know, you're driving somebody else's equipment, you're driving for these mega carriers that have, you know, some of you might think I have a lot of expenses, but just think about a company that has, you know, 100, 200 trucks, and they got staff, they got all this stuff that they got to pay for, and you know, including drivers, including the mess ups that the drivers have, insurance, you know, and they're putting all their stuff on the line to provide an opportunity for a driver, which I just say half, not all. If you're offended, then that says something about you. But half of y'all don't take serious. Y'all take it for granted. You know, but I just wanted to touch on the driver pay situation. To me, it's really cut and dry. You know, I guess because I'm on this side of the fence and I've been in a driver position as well. And just initially, I wondered about pay and this, that, and the third. But now, me owning a company and having a overhead and, you know, having to crunch numbers, having to do P&L statements, and just so many things when it comes to the finances, I fully get it. I fully get it. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, there's some companies that could pay a little bit more. But, you know, back to the original thing that I said, these companies are out here to be profitable. I'm not out here to waste my time. I'm not out here to just give money away. I'm not out here just to say I got trucks. I'm not out here trying to showboat. You know, I'm out here to be profitable. and obviously present opportunities for people to get into another position within their lives. You know what I'm saying? Whether they want to get into the apprenticeship program or they want to work with the company for the rest of their lives. You know, for me personally, it's all about helping people. I've given away from this company a lot more than I probably say the average. You know what I'm saying? The guys get holiday bonuses. They get, you know, bonuses throughout the year. Just little things. I pay them for their birthday. You know, for me, again, the money's, I'm not like greedy owner operators pretty much mess the game up, especially when they don't take care of their drivers and they don't pay them worth a damn. But then again, they don't take care of their equipment. And then when they're doing good, they don't say nothing. But when they do bad, they hop all over them. So guys, just make sure y'all, you know, when you got a driver that's doing good, make sure you tell them that he's doing good. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to micromanage him or try to be buddy-buddy with him, but just tell them that he's doing good. You know, you never know how somebody's feeling, and that could take them a long way and make them even do an even better job, you know, do a better job on the pre-trip or catch a simple could-be mistake. So, but again, this video was just about, you know, the driver pay situation, man. There's just been so much talk about it. And, you know, guys, tell me what you think about it. Hop in the comments, tell me what you think about the driver pay situation. You know what I'm saying? I just, you know, give me some more feedback on that. You know, you don't necessarily have to tell me what you're getting paid. That's personal business, you know, but, you know, let's just have a dialogue about it. And again, there's no right or wrong answers. Everybody's situation is different. What may be good for you may not be good for the next man, and so on and so forth. So, but in the meantime, again, guys, if you like this content that I'm putting out, make sure you click the like button, you click the share button, and most definitely you click the subscribe button. Guys, I appreciate all you guys coming to tune into my channel. Let's keep this thing going. And again, I'm going to be bringing as much information. Again, most of this stuff is just my opinion. I'm going to be bringing that. Trying to correct some of the myths and stuff that goes around in trucking, and just really trying to put people on game and help them understand what it's like, you know, because I know what it's like from the driver side, but also help them understand what it's like from the business side. So therefore, we can put the two together and you can have a better opinion or a better view or perspective of how this trucking stuff really works. But in the meantime, like, subscribe, and share, and stay tuned for the next video, guys. We out.